we're not watching. I can't watch for you and then run my company. I just can't do that. So it will slow you down. Because you're gonna be trying to change things according to what they're okay. I gotta change this now.
You're trying to copy them, but you don't know the back office.
Yeah, you can't like. Let me tell you, the back office is the most important part to running a business. If you don't know it, you're not going to get it because you don't know what it took for them to be able to say, "Hey, we're giving $100 discount on your tax preparations." You don't know what it took for them to be able to do that.
Right.
And you do it, and you
trying to and you done lost out, and now you out of business.
Yeah, you out of business because you trying to do what they did.
Somebody and compete.
It's not going to work. It has to make sense. You do have to run your own race.
So we live again.
Episode
2. How you feel about it? How you feel about it so
far?
I
feel real good.
You done caused a lot of problems out there with these 401ks.
Oh, Lord. A
lot of people is having issues with you, but you've been busy so far. What's been going on? I see you've been networking.
Yeah, so networking. I had to record our first commercial. So
man, how you feel about that?
Really excited about that. It was different, but I'm excited. It's going to release next Thursday at 5 a.m.
On what?
On CW.
CW Richmond. So that's pretty good. I mean, from where we came from into where we at now, who would ever thought?
Right.
What like if you would have asked yourself like from this time last year, like you would have thought you would have had your own commercial?
No, I wouldn't have thought that at all. I probably would have thought much of nothing, just, staying in the same cycle. But all praises for the increase that the Lord give you, and the knowledge to, okay, hey, I have to grow my business. I have to do this different. I have to do that different. So all praises.
That's and it goes into like what I want to say. But before I even say that, I just want to say welcome to Wealth Without the Gamble TV, where we teach finances and teach you how to build generational wealth without putting your money at risk. So I want to get into, because you was talking about like, the increase. So I want to speak on something about mindset, about the poverty mindset. So I have this question. I was reading an article. It was about an institution that did some research, and they did the research on Black Americans and poverty. And they was asking, they did the research. They didn't ask. It was research that was done in 2010. And they was saying like that they found out that 69% of Black Americans that's born in poverty, they stay in poverty. They stay in poverty. So what's your thoughts on that? Like us being born in poverty, because we both were born in poverty.
Right.
But, through increase through the Most High, honestly, we were able to get out of that poverty mindset in the situation. So what's your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on poverty is, we're born into poverty, but it's the mindset that keeps us there. It's the things that we've seen coming up. It's the cycles that we go and repeat that we've seen. So that's how we stay in poverty. So when, say, for example, when you coming up, you see, okay, hey, I'm used to just basic. I just use food, for example. You see someone, let's say, frying chicken every day. Okay, well, that becomes your habit. So you frying chicken every day. So that leads to you being sick. So it's the same when it comes to financials. You see someone, they get money. Then all of a sudden they go and they're consuming. They buying shoes and clothes all the time. So you got so much shoes and clothes that you didn't even need. You just spending money on just, things that you want. Not things that's a necessity or investment. So the poverty mentality comes with the environment that you're in.
So I look at it like this, like when you look at our people, we were never taught about money. We were never taught about credit.
Right.
We were never taught about assets or liabilities. And it goes on to like my mother's generation and so on.
Right.
Like we were never taught these things, so they're only teaching you what they know. So you speak on the food, like we only like what other aspects, like okay, that we were taught about the food, like this is what you eat, and it was bad for us. Like, and then financially, they what did were you taught anything about money?
Was I taught anything about money? So
growing up, were you taught anything about money? Like, you grew up in poverty. How what things were you taught about money?
So, to my knowledge, I can't remember much of anything I was taught about money except, how to count it at home. Now, in school, there's a different story.
I'm talking about to get out of a poverty mindset.
Yeah, no, we weren't. What we were taught is, okay, you need to go work this job right here. You're going to work 8 to 12 hours a day, make enough money to take care of your family, to pay your bills, maybe get a little groceries and continue on the cycle. So no, we weren't taught anything. So that's the biggest problem within our, nation, within the community. We're not taught financial literacy. We're not taught we should put our money here or there, or we're not taught these things.
One thing I can say, like, growing up from where we're from, we both from Nottoway County, small town, and it's much of nothing there. And when you look at it, like, the type of jobs that we get is dead end jobs, and it's jobs that you barely can make it type jobs.
Right.
You barely can feed your children. You barely can pay the bills. You barely can make it. So why is it? How do we get caught up in these dead end jobs?
How?
Yeah, what, like, when it comes to our mindset, because, like, okay, I remember when I was younger, when I got a job at working at Walmart, people was like, "Oh, you're doing good for yourself." And then, but this was like 2008, and then the minimum wage was $4.25. So the thing is, like, this is a little before Obama hit the chair.
Right.
So he took it up $1. But the thing is, like, $4.25, and they were saying I'm doing good for myself.
Right. Well, a lot of times you're only gonna go as far as what you were taught, right? Or as far as you can see. So you may see, okay, I need to get a job, and then in this area that I'm in, because you're in a small town, there's not many opportunities there. So okay, Walmart, that was probably one of the best things. Okay, I can get hired here. I could easily get hired here and do this type of work, and maybe I'll be promoted to be a manager someday, or so you only can go as far as what you're taught, to be honest, from my opinion, from what you see. That's what I was about to say,
what you see, because when you look at us, what we see, we don't see doctors or lawyers.
Right. We see cashiers, fast food workers, people that work on the road, cutting grass, doing odd and end jobs. So those are the things that we see because they weren't taught,
When we go to school, when you went to school, because we both went to the same school, and then we was talking about, like, how you were taught, it was different from me.
Right.
So speak on that.
Okay, what you mean?
Like, your education was different from mine, even though we went to the same school. Like, I wasn't taught certain things. Like, can you speak on that? Like,
well,
you can't.
Because I don't know everything that you was or weren't taught, but in school I loved school.
I honestly I didn't.
Right.
I don't remember, like, I don't remember being taught anything about how to be a businessman or anything like that. Like, what about you?
In school, so yeah, I did have different classes that they taught that stuff. I can't remember all that stuff because now I'm years and years from being in school. But yeah, I experienced those different things. I always knew, okay, hey, I want to. I was like, I want to be a cashier because I wanted to deal with money. But as the years went on, I was like, okay, I want to be an accountant, things of that nature. But in school, I had different business classes and. I
was
school.
in a business class, but they never taught you, like, hey, to be a business owner.
I can't say they taught you to be a business owner.
Everything was how to be an employee.
Yes, it was. How to run and operate their business.
How to continue on being in the rat race.
Yeah. That's what, I didn't. So in high school, I didn't get that, Now college is different, but yeah, in
I didn't go to college.
high school, I didn't get that, but I love studying. Like I just always like to be top in my class. That's just me. Whatever I'm doing, I want to try to be the best at whatever I'm doing, like the scriptures say.
So I wanna get into this because we already understand the problem that we face with poverty, and they did the research and said 69% of us we don't make it out of it.
Right.
So we understand the problem, but it should be a solution to it. Like, what was it that got you out of that? You know what I mean? What did you have to do to get out of it? Like, you see someone that's in poverty, they want to make it out. They saying, I don't see a way to get out of poverty. I don't see myself. I don't have the talent like you to be an accountant, but I want to get out of this situation. What advice would you give them?
It's not, you don't have to be an accountant to get out of poverty. It's your mindset. It's the things that you allow in your space. It's your environment. And it's so important. It's the knowledge, or let me say, it's the information that you feed yourself. So if you feed yourself, hey, I'm gonna be this is just an example. If you're gonna tell yourself, hey, I'm gonna be an employee and I'm gonna stay at Walmart and I'm gonna continue making $10 an hour for the next 20 years, then that's what you're gonna be doing. It's the mindset. It's what you feed yourself. Like me, I worked for many different companies. I had many different jobs. I had so many jobs one year. It was ridiculous. So I'm doing all these jobs, but when it finally clicked for me, it's like, okay, I'm working for these people. I'm giving you all of my time. Okay, well, I could do this for myself and I can make more money because I've now been taught the skill set from working from these different employers to now I can take this skill set and invest into myself.
But this the thing though. This is the thing. Like, a lot of us have skill sets. Like, you'll see people working at McDonald's and they have the skill set, but they can't take that same skill set and own their own business because the way they were trained, they're only good at being the cashier. They're only good at being the fry cook or whatever. So the thing is, okay, I have the skill set because a lot of us do, but we still in poverty. You know, I know a lot of people that can fix on homes and fix on cars, but they still poor. So the thing is, what is it that I can do to get out of that situation? Like, what? Okay, I know I need to change my mindset.
You have to educate yourself.
How do I educate myself? You know what I mean? I can't. I wasn't. My thing is, I wasn't able to get in college because of my grades. So how can I educate myself so I can get out of this situation with my skill set? I'm a mechanic. I want to own my own mechanic shop, but I don't know how because you got a lot of people, like, especially where we're from, you know, a lot of people start businesses, but it just basically like a side hustle.
Right.
So what can I do with my mindset to grow it so I can get out of poverty financially?
Okay, this is what I would say. What you need to find is that trusted accountant or financial person, right? Because when you find that trusted person, you can be able to ask them these questions that you have. Hey, what is it? Because depending on what your field is and what you're doing, you need certain advice according to your field. Education plays a big role, but if you don't know where to start, so, you know, I say accountant, but technically you would need a mentor.
Exactly. And that's how I feel. I look at it.
A mentor. You have to find someone that's in that field that's doing what it is that you're trying to get to, and that's been doing that is what you technically need.
I agree on. If you're in a poverty mindset and you're going through poverty and you have a certain skill, you have a certain love, find that person that's successful in what you're trying to do and latch on to that person. You can't take advice from Dante down the street and he haven't succeeded in anything, and then he gonna give you advice that ain't even helping him. He in the same situation as you. You gotta try your best to find someone that's doing the thing that you're trying to do and learn from them to get out of that situation. They will increase your skills and your knowledge and what you're trying to do, and you'll be able to get out of that situation. But a lot of people be prideful. Like you'll try to like it's probably plenty of people that you try to give them knowledge on, hey, this is what you can do to succeed. But you will see when it comes to, let's be honest, our people, they're prideful. They want to do it their way. And then they end up, running in a circle.
Yeah. Or they think that they can do it. Oh, I can do this cheaper. And technically, it'll cost you more. Why? Because it took more time. And then the information that you needed, you could have had it right then and there. But it took you longer to find out and to connect the dots, to figure it out, because you didn't have that mentor or that mentorship to help guide you. A mentor is the person that will help you get to your goals and your dreams faster than you could. So if you got a goal for a year, let's say to own and run a business, a brick and mortar, well, you find that person that's doing it, they probably will help you be able to get that done within 3 to 6 months. The mentor speeds up the time that it takes for you to learn something. They're going to add so much value to you. So that's why mentorship is very important. A lot of people don't understand that, and they're very trusted
mentor that's
when it comes
succeeding.
to mentorship.
Yeah, just like you said in the last podcast, when you be cheap, you get cheap results.
Yeah, like you don't want to do a mentorship is one of the most important things you can invest your money in.
Your mindset, right?
It is, yeah. That's where you want to put. That's where you want to put your money at.
So somebody, I suggest, like, okay, somebody might, because a lot of us, when we get our hands on money, we don't know what to do with it. Because we were raised up in poverty and we wasn't taught. So the thing is, like, if I have $1,000, and I'm trying to be whatever, a mechanic, a restaurant owner, whatever, take a portion of that money and first invest it into yourself before you buy the food or whatever. Try to invest into a mentorship to somebody to teach you, so you'll be able to do the right things before you mess up, because it gets very costly.
Yes.
And now you're out the business. Because it goes into the second question that I want to ask you, because it was more research done. And this was just last year, and they did a study, and they showed that a lot of Black-owned business owners, and then they said 80% of us failed within the first 18 months. The first 18 months of owning a business, that's just a year and a half. So within a year and a half of being a Black-owned business, they fall. And they said this is not even due to the pandemic, before the pandemic. So can you dive into that? Like, why is it when it comes to our businesses, we fail?
Okay, so the reason why we fail, number one, like we just spoke, mentorship. A lot of times you're doing things backwards. You start a business. Technically, you're not starting. You just, hey, I'm selling food. You just selling the food. You didn't structure the business. There's no business plan. There's no vision. There's no goals. Nothing. You didn't say, hey, I need a mentor to help me understand what do I need to do? How do I need? You didn't do none of that. So you already started upside down. You're upside down from the jump. So that's the main reason why.
So how did they start upside down? Like, what was it that they did? Because if I don't know and if I don't understand, I'm just going off, I'm shooting from the hip. I don't know if I'm starting upside down. Like, what is it? What is it that you seen?
Okay,
with business owners, that you seen with business owners, like majority of them, they started like this, but they should have did this.
Okay, so like my example was when I said, okay, you're a chef. And so what you started with immediately was, I'm selling plates. So you started selling plates. There was no vision for that business. No goals. You didn't set any goals. There's no business plan. A business plan, a lot of people think a business plan is, they say I need that you don't need it. You need a business plan because that's your vision for your business. That's the future of your company. What are you going to look like in 5 years?
Right.
At least have a basic business plan that will outline the necessities that's needed to run and function for the business to function. You got something to say?
No, I was liking what you were saying because it's important to have a business plan because, like, there's a lot of good cooks. There's a lot of us that can cook good and I mean make awesome plates, and they be pretty big too when they selling them. So the thing is, like, you deal with a lot of restaurant owners, and then I done seen where you spoke to them. They said they're afraid to raise their price, things of that nature. Yeah. And then I know I've been hearing you talk about the cost of goods sold and things of that nature. And that's why it's important for someone to have a mentor and have someone to teach them, because going to, okay, why is it important to understand cost of goods sold? Because I could have purchased these goods or these products for X amount of dollars, and I'm selling it for $5, but I only made $1.
Okay,
so expound on that a little bit more for me.
So, with cost of goods sold, first off, it's important if you are a restaurant owner, right? Because the cost of goods sold is what it costs for you to make that particular burger, for example. So you may sell a turkey burger, and on that turkey burger, you may have cheese, lettuce, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, pickles. Well, you need to know how much it costs you to make that burger. Every ingredient on that burger has a cost. Right. And this is part of your cost of goods sold. So you need to know how much that piece of lettuce that you use, how much of that was that lettuce worth, what, 5 cents? The tomato you use, okay, another 5 cents. The cheese you use, maybe that was 15 cents. The patty that you use, maybe it was worth $3.
Every single thing has a cost.
The bun, every single thing, the seasonings that you use, you have to break all these things down, and that shows you a picture of your cost of goods sold, how much it costs you to make that product. And what the cost of goods sold is, why it's important, because it truly shows you what your business is profiting once you take it away from,
or if you're losing income. Right?
Yeah, profiting, or most
how many
times
people doing
you're
that?
Losing.
How many people that's out there selling plates? How many people is checking for their cost of goods sold? Or have you even heard of that word? Because if you haven't, because we see a lot of restaurant owners failing because they don't understand cost of goods sold, and because you want to be cheap on the back end, you're losing and you're working harder. You're working harder to try to survive and keep your business running, and then you fall right up in that statistic of your business failing within 18 months because you didn't understand that one aspect. And then that's what an accountant is for, or a bookkeeper can help you with that, right?
Right. So I want to say this. Cost of goods sold is the back office in your business. A lot of times, this is why businesses fail. There's no back office done. You selling plates, where's your menu?
Right.
You selling plates, okay, but where's do you have a recipe for what you're selling? Okay, your chicken. If you hire someone and you sick that day, can someone fill in for you? Probably not, because it's not in order. There's no system of operations. The back office is the bread and butter, just like advertising is for your business.
Right.
This is what keeps your business afloat. The accountant, your bookkeeper who's doing your books, your tax preparation, your tax strategies. That is the other piece of your bread and butter. A very large piece. They're going to be able to tell you, okay, hey, what your business looks like, what you're profiting, what you're losing, the cost of goods. So, hey, you spending too much money on these products. Okay, because now what's happening is you're losing. You're giving away too much food in the trade. So you have to be mindful of all those different things.
Also, because you know us, and I want to dig into us because we're the one that's failing. You know, the statistics is there. So if we can't speak on the issue, it will never get solved. And then and it's not that we're not great at anything. It's just that we don't understand.
Yeah, we're great at it. We just gotta know.
We just don't have the knowledge and how to scale and get better. Yeah. So the thing is, another thing that we do when it comes to restaurant owners, we eyeball things.
Yeah,
we'll eyeball things. We don't have portions. You know, one day it might be a little more seasoning in it, more than what it was last week. Or you might give a bigger portion than you did last week, and then it's still eating into that bottom line.
Right.
Everything's supposed to be precise and the same, correct?
Right, and that's what I just said. That where's you fried chicken? How do you fry the chicken? What do you do first? What is the steps? How much your seasoning mix? If you're not there and you're out of the flour, you're out of the seasoning, do someone know how much of what to put in there? Hey, you need 4 scoops of one cup. I'm sorry, 4 cups of flour, and then you need this type of herb or that or salt. Those things are very important.
That helps you to scale your business.
Yeah,
it helps you to take away the burden off of you.
Yeah.
And then it also helps you. Okay, I know how many people I can employ, or if I can't, I'll know if I can do this, whatever type of moves I need to make. But the thing is, that's why a lot of restaurants fail, because they don't understand the back end, and that's okay, because your skill is being that great chef,
right,
or whatever you're doing. So you'll see a lot of restaurant owners, they'll try to manage the books. They want to be the cook. They want to be the whatever, everything, every aspect in the business, and then they fall right in that statistic of failing.
That's the problem. You want to play every position. Well, every position is not your talent. You want to hire people that's their role that they play. You want to hire the accountant to do your bookkeeping, to do your tax strategies, to do your tax preparation. Why? Because that's what they're skilled in, and they're going to make sure that what you have going on in your restaurant is how it's supposed to be, and they're going to look for ways to help you grow. You cannot grow without your accountant. Like, you need your accountant,
especially for restaurant owners that's making 6 figures or more. Like, you'll have a lot of restaurant owners that's making 6 figures or more, and they're failing on that end. Like, they're grossing a lot of money, but when you look at that bottom line, it's looking bad.
How can you truly how can you truly run your business if you don't have the correct pieces? Just like a car, how can your car run without the engine? It can't. How can the car run without gas or whatever they substitute for gas? It cannot. So you need those key elements in order to have your business to operate. Just like you would need the engine for the car. You go get a cheap engine for a Cadillac. You get a engine that they put in a Honda. It's not going to do what it's supposed to do because it's a Cadillac. So you want to get the proper resources and the proper elements for the things that you need within your company.
Yeah, that's very true. And so I want to get into more about bookkeeping. Mm-hmm. So you said bookkeeping is very important for the business. So give us an example, like when it comes to restaurant owners, how important is it to restaurant or owners to survive, like when it comes to bookkeeping?
What do you mean to survive? Like, how important is it for them in order for their business to survive? Okay, so bookkeeping is very important. I mean, if you don't know what your expenses are, then you don't know what you're profiting. You could be a 7-figure restaurant owner, but when it comes down to your bottom line, it says 0. That is a big failure. Why is it 0? Because you don't have the proper bookkeeping in place. You need to know. I mean, it's just you have to know what you're spending money on. How can you have a home but you don't know what your electric bill is? You don't know how much the water bill is. You just paying the bills, and then at the end of the month you negative because you wasn't paying attention to what you had going on.
Right.
You're not watching your money. You're not watching, okay, I done spent too much money today on this, so I gotta cut back over here.
Yeah.
You're not you're not checking for that. Why? Because you're in the business working.
And now you got too much chicken in the freezer, and it been in there too long.
Yeah, you don't over leverage yourself.
And now you done over leverage now things that's money that need to probably be spent on updating, like your POS system, things of that nature. Like, you probably got an old cash register, and you can't even put money into that so you can update it.
Right.
And then by you over leveraging on food, and it's been sitting in there for 6 months or more, you can't put money into marketing
Right.
so you can advertise, hey, I'm here.
Right.
You can't sell anything if you're not seen.
Right. You cannot sell anything if you have to be seen. Nowadays, the world has changed. Okay, so we still put boots to the ground.
I can't go to. I can't go according to 2000 year 2000.
No, we can't. It's different.
You can't do that.
Yeah, virtual. Get your business name. If you're serious about your business, if you're trying to create wealth for your family, push your business. Just how you would go to work from every day from 8 to, you're going to put 8 hours a day or more in someone else's company. How do you think they're operating? They're not just, it's not going by osmosis. There are people in there that's working. You will have to put that same effort into your business. And it was a question you asked me earlier that I want to go back to about how to come out the poverty mindset. If you are working for someone, let's say you're trying to run your own business and you stuck. Well, you stuck because you probably, okay, how can I do this within my company? I don't know how to do this. Your business requires you to work more than that 8-hour job that you was working every day.
Right. Especially restaurant owners.
Yeah. It's not I work for 5 hours today, I'm going home. It's none of that. Your business, you might be dreaming about your business. You have to put more time into that than you would someone else's company.
If you're growing it, yes.
Yeah, someone else's company is already grown. It's already where it's at, and it's going to continue to grow. Why? Because they have employees that they've hired to continue the business. You don't have that. So you're figuring it out. So it's going to require you to make that sacrifice.
And then another thing, like you went back to the poverty mindset.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, that poverty mindset, because we were trained a certain way. Mm-hmm. And then the thing is, like, just like the McDonald's worker, he has the skill to run that business,
right?
But he don't know how to do it himself. And then everything that, like, somebody that worked at McDonald's, you worked at Wendy's and everything, and you had to count those goods, those products that was in there, right?
I did sometimes, yeah.
But you seen the people, okay, I'm gonna count the burgers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count the straws.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count everything. Yeah. And then I know how much I need to order, all these things.
Exactly.
But the thing is, we don't do that in our business. We didn't even understand why they were doing that.
Right. It's important that, like, I know one time, you wanted to open up a certain type of business. It was with food, So with that in the background, I said, okay, well, how much did it cost you to make this product? And so we had our list out with all the ingredients, everything broken down, because we got to know how much it costs you. For example, to make this sausage, if you're going to sell it, it may cost you $3.20 to make the sausage. Okay, well then now we know what it cost us. Now we need to know how much we need to sell it for. Okay, so that's just an example.
And that goes into the mindset, because like that was like, what was that? Like 2017, 18.
Yeah.
It was somewhere around that time. That was you breaking that down.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I didn't understand, those things, the measurements and everything. I just wanted to throw something together, long as it tastes good, and I wanted to create sausages.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't understand that every little piece mattered.
Yes.
So the thing is, it was a failing business. It did not work. I didn't understand the measurements and all that stuff. But if you're working in that field, they will have you doing these things, but you don't even understand why you're doing it. You just doing
exactly. But guess what? Guess when it clicks? And this is when it clicked for me. It didn't click for me until, I worked in insurance companies, insurance agencies. It clicked for me when I wanted to own my own insurance agency. And I found out the steps. But at first, because you see a puzzle this size, you see it completed, it's overwhelming. That's not how you're supposed to look at it. You're supposed to look at the puzzle and piece it together as you go. When you look at the full puzzle, you're going to be overwhelmed, like, I can't do this. And that's what happened to me in the beginning when I first tried to open up an insurance agency. But the second time, I was able to digest it even better, because I'm like, okay, I'm already prepared. I already know what I got to do.
Right.
So it made it easier. And as I started, it started clicking for me. Okay, when I worked for these people, I had to do this. They had me to put notes into the system. I had a CRM system, a management system in order to keep up with the customers. A client called. Okay, I had to go find them, type in, okay, what they needed, what I did, and all those different things came together as a puzzle. So when I got my own agency, I said, okay, now I was working in the background, so I know how to work this background because I had experience in doing it. So that's when it clicked for me. But it clicks for you. For me, I say when you get into the business, like it clicks before you know to do it, but then it makes more sense. Like, okay,
you have to have that willingness to learn. Just don't be there doing this to get back. Because if you just doing something to get by, you don't have the love for something, you just doing it for the money, you're not going to increase in knowledge and learning. If
that's what you're looking to do,
like if you just doing it for the, like you just working there at McDonald's or whatever, you just doing it for the money, you don't care to learn like the back office or nothing like that.
And I do want to say this because even though people are like, well, McDonald's, what skill set can I take from that?
A lot. Listen, customer service
is one of the biggest things in business. Because people will cuss you out, okay? They're going to tell you whatever. You got to know how to talk to people. Even though they rude, disrespectful, you have to know how to talk to them. Even if they're nice to you, you still have to know how to interact with people. It's very important. If your business requires people, if you selling services.
A lot of people, like when it comes to because when we talk to a lot of Black-owned businesses, they don't want to deal with people.
No, they don't. They
want to make $1 million. They want to take 100 and turn it into $1 million to the next day.
Yeah.
They want to turn it into the next day, and then you ask them, what's their game plan, things of that nature. And then one of the main things I will hear is they don't want to deal with people.
Yeah, if you're selling products or services, which is the main things that you do, you're going to deal with people. I love people. That's just me. I'm a people's person. So I don't like to be sitting in front of around four walls and there's nobody there to talk to. I like to talk. So I need people that I can interact with. So I love talking to people. But customer service, when you work for McDonald's, being a cashier, believe it or not, that deals with money. It's teaching you how to count money, how to get a proper change back, so handling money is important. Being a manager, let's say you want to own your own restaurant. Well, when you're a manager at McDonald's, you're going to know how to work every position in the store.
Mm-hmm.
That is your back office to you running your own food business. When you get your own restaurant, you'll understand, oh my goodness, I had to manage the employees. I know how to run the front line. I know how to make the sandwiches or prepare whatever dishes need to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to talk to the people. I know how to work. If I want to drive through at my restaurant, I could do that because I had a skill set because I learned it when I worked for McDonald's.
But when we just there for for the minimum wage, keyword minimum,
right?
We just there for the minimum wage. We don't care to pay attention to these things that they trained us to do.
Right.
They trained us to do, and then that's why we stuck in the rat race. And then let's go back to the business owner. And then let's say you just starting.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of our problems is we'll try to compare ourselves to someone that's in year 5 or year 10. We just started.
Right.
And then we're trying to compare and compete with someone that's in year 5 and year 10. You just coming in.
Right.
And then you get discouraged. Oh, theirs looking like this. They got this going on.
Right.
Man, you got to run your own race.
That is so important.
That's how you learn.
Yes.
That is how you learn.
That is like me. I never watch another business to see what they're doing, not unless it's competition.
Not to compete.
We're not watching. I can't watch for you and then run my company. I just can't do that. So it will slow you down because you're going to be trying to change things according to what they're, okay, I got to change this now.
You're trying to copy them, but you don't know the back office.
Yeah, you can't, let me tell you, the back office is the most important part to running a business. If you don't know it, you're not going to get it because you don't know what it took for them to be able to say, hey, we're giving $100 discount on your tax preparations. You don't know what it took for them to be able to do that.
Right.
And you do it, and
you done lost out, and now you out of business.
Yeah, you out of business because you trying to do what they did.
Trying to copy somebody and compete.
It's not going to work. It has to make sense. You do have to run your own race.
And so let's get into also because all right, we got the restaurant owners. You see, like, you deal with the restaurant owners, and you done helped out restaurant owners where let's just say like they were behind in their books and they didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And then it came to the point, like, even like when it came to like basic things, when it came to their cash register.
Right.
Like, you know, if they had the proper bookkeeping, they would have understand, like, I could even save on that end, just on that end. So explain, like, why it's even important to even understand that part, like when it comes to updated systems within your restaurant.
Oh, updated systems is very important. Just like when you go into a restaurant, well, let me not divert, but updated systems is important. Why? Because it makes your business more efficient.
Right.
If your business is more efficient, it's going to move more smoothly and faster. People like fast service, especially in a restaurant. They don't want to sit there an hour and wait for their food.
Right.
Somebody got to come to take the order. Then they got to take the ticket back to the kitchen, and then the kitchen get the order. Well, it's easier. A lot of times you'll see them have little tablets. Take the order on the tablet, send it off, go straight to the kitchen, to the POS system. That's their POS system.
Right.
It makes the business run smoother. You find that when you implement certain systems, it's going to increase your bottom line. Why? It's going to increase your revenue. Why? Because you can take orders faster. You can service more people because now you're not waiting an hour to deliver an order to someone that's sitting in a restaurant.
Bad customer service.
Yeah.
Bad customer service. And then you wondering why you done got a bad review on Google. You wondering why you done been cussed out and things of that nature. But the thing is, to go to the root of it, is because of the poor mindset, because we deal with the clients and what we see is we'll make the money, but we don't reinvest the money back into the business.
Right.
We will take the money. We just started year 2, year 3. And you know, that's the growth stage of your business.
It is.
And then we'll take the money, we making 6 figures and we think we living good, and we'll take that money because we had nothing.
Right.
We grew up with nothing, and then we'll take that money and we want to live a lavish lifestyle and we record and everything. But the business, we don't even know we killing the business because we will not take that money in the first 3 to 4 years to gain more knowledge, reinvest in the business, things of that nature. But we're about the Jordans, the cars, right, the bigger house, and we increase more personal expenses. And then the business is now lacking.
Yeah, you done increased in liabilities. That's what you've done. Liabilities, things that you pay.
So why is it important we spoke on it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Why is it important to reinvest in your business?
It's important to reinvest in your business because don't you want your business to continue to operate? Don't you want it to flourish? How can it flourish if you're not feeding it? You know, when you invest into your business or into yourself, when I invest into my knowledge, I'm feeding myself information. That's the same thing you're going to do with your business. Okay, I have my, this is for the personal, this is for my savings, and this is for my business. And I'm going to take this portion of money and put it back into the business so I can have better systems.
I had said to someone before, I was like, I was telling them about that business, 6-figure business. It was like a little over $250,000. And I was like, hey, your business, man, it's like a Lamborghini. But the thing is, I said, how good is that Lamborghini if you never put gas in it?
Right.
It's just sitting there. Yeah, exactly. It's worthless. So that's just like with your money. You have, that is the gas for your car.
Right.
And if you're not putting that money in the proper things, because if we don't have someone to show us, okay, where to put this money at, because we'll probably overspend on something that we really didn't need to.
Right.
You know, you didn't put it into entertainment, but you needed it for something else, because that's another key factor that makes our business fail. We don't know where to spend the money.
Right.
And that's where bookkeeping comes into play.
Exactly. So according to what the particular industry that you're in and what you have going on within your business, that's where we're going to advise you, hey, you got $20,000, but your systems is lacking. Okay. If you're a restaurant owner, your business is moving slow. You still have paper menus Where, you know,
spending all that money on paper
menu.
menus.
You still print
Everybody
menus.
is updated.
Everybody
We just went to a restaurant. They didn't have menus. They had the QR codes on the table.
Imprinted in the table.
On the table. How much money they had to spend on that?
Right.
You know, and then they don't have to. So it's because they reinvested in their business, yes, staying with the times, and that way it keeps their business going.
I want to say this. When you're printing menus, prices have been changing. Prices change for me, I see every day. I go in the grocery store. The cost is increasing all the time.
I remember, man, when chicken, I could get wings for $7. Now it's almost $40. I don't know what's going on with these chicken wings, man.
The prices are crazy. So if you're a restaurant owner, you keep printing paper menus, that is going to increase your paper costs. It's unnecessary at this day and time and the state that we're in. Update your system.
Even the IRS, they're going paperless.
Finally.
Even they're going paperless because they understand the times. Like, and everybody know, because everybody know, like, man, when you have to when it comes to getting your taxes filed and you got to do that paper file, man, it's no telling how long you're gonna be waiting.
It's no telling. They say 16 weeks, but yeah, it'd be like months to years. Clients and wait a year to get their refund.
But you still want to print paper.
No, stop printing paper. Save on that paper cost. You probably spending $3,000-$4,000 every year when you could have just took maybe $2,000 invested in getting your stuff electronic. And that's that one that you ain't got to keep doing.
I really want you to touch on the part when it comes to something as simple as a cash register. Because they don't even check, like we don't even check like for fees and things of that nature.
Okay, that's not the cash register. You're talking about the
like the POS, the processing system.
Yeah,
right?
They have fees with those. So you
can save money on that.
You can definitely save money on that. We're partnered with a company that will actually look into your processing fees, how much they're charging you, so that they can see, hey, we can save you such amount of money over here where you don't have to worry about all this excess fees that's coming out. That is important.
So if you're in retail, if you're in the restaurant industry, anything that you're taking payments, you know, you could save on that end as well to be able to reinvest into your business.
Yeah, you got that machine where you're taking those credit cards and different things of that nature. Definitely want to look into that. Your processing fees, that's another cost that you have. You can save money
things count.
There. Yeah, you can save money there.
So also, like, we just don't want to touch on restaurant owners and things of that nature, but we see the same thing when it comes to real estate investors.
Yeah.
So, and then the thing is, like, even with real estate investors, and back to like when it comes to business owners,
right?
Like we'll see things and we don't understand. We don't even understand, like, okay, how should I be structured? Because if we're not properly structured right, it could be costing us. Yeah. And that right there, that cost could be heavy. I'm already losing on not properly properly like having my books right. And all those things. So it's a lot of expenses. And then when it comes to, like you said, my POS system, I'm getting hit on that end. All these things I'm getting hit on. And then also because let's say I done made 6 figures. I'm a restaurant owner. I done made 6 figures. I have 5 employees, but I have a single member LLC.
You said restaurant owner?
I'm a restaurant owner. I have 5 employees, but I have a single member LLC, and I made 6 figures. Would you say that is the proper structure to have?
It could be.
And why is that?
It depends on your situation. So it depends on what you have going on. How much are you paying these employees? What are you looking like? You could be making $1 million, but after you made that $1 million, your bottom line, what does it say? Do it say $20,000? You may be set up appropriately. Are you trying to take us out? It's different pieces that you want to look at. It's not no one size fits all.
So we see a lot of people, like, they'll contact us on the real estate end and also on like the business owners. Everybody wants an S corp. Why is that?
Everybody wants an escort because they've heard on TikTok, okay? Because TikTok told them to get an escort. That's why.
But what is it that they seen on TikTok that they was like, I want an escort?
Well, on TikTok, I want to say what they've shown is that you can save on taxes. But they telling you that, but they're not giving you the details. So with an escort, so this is what I will say. With an S corporation, there are certain things that you want to have in place before you make that decision to become an S corp. That's what your accountant is for. Hey, I potentially, and then to be honest, you don't even have to go to your accountant to tell them this, because a good accountant or a great accountant will already have informed you on how you should be structured.
And that's let's be honest. We've seen accountants where they don't inform their clients.
Right.
And your business is failing on that end. Why? What we seen was, okay, because we thinking we saving money on the back end, the front end, or whatever. You have an accountant, you're paying $200 a month. And then that accountant is doing nothing for you. They're not reporting nothing in to you, telling you, hey, this is what can be fixed, things of that nature. Speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, so your accountant, from what I've seen, it's just been really terrible, to be honest. Accountants just like, you're paying them, and I guess what they're doing is matching how you're paying them. So what's a better way I can say this? They're not doing their job.
I speak honest, because it's hurting a lot of businesses, because we have a client where, because they were paying,
we have a few clients that's in the same situation because you're not paying,
and it's because they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand. You're paying $200-$300 for a service. For example, for a service that corps pay 6-7 figures for an accountant. Not saying that that's how much you're going to be paying, but you have $1 million business, and then your bottom line, you profit, and let's say $300,000-$400,000 after all of your expenses. Why are you paying $200 a month for bookkeeping? That doesn't even make sense.
Something that's very important to your business.
Very important. Like, you need certain things in your business. How are you finding that out with $200-$300 a month? There's a lot of work that needs to be done for the type of business that you're running.
Right.
So what we do is, I require my clients to meet with me monthly. I need to see you monthly so we can go over your financials. We need to go over your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, your cash flow. We need to see everything that you have going on. You need to know what I know, so that when it comes time to make certain decisions, you can make those decisions, because I've educated you on exactly what you should do. You're not going to be in the dark. You done spent $30,000. You done went out and bought a car and then called me when you could have called me, and that $20,000-$30,000 could have been strategized a certain way to help you save on taxes when we get to the tax preparation.
But the $200 a month accountant, they really not gonna do that.
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna look. You might find one because they're newer. They're just trying to get their foot in the game. But 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get that, because you paid that person that. Like, when you look at it, let's say you're a restaurant owner, and you have those 5 employees, and you're paying a minimum wage, and let's say they made $15,000 to $20,000 that year, and then you paid them $15,000 to $20,000 that year to run your business, so you can grow your business.
Right.
But your accountant that's going to help your business truly grow, that's going to help you truly save and make more money, you want to pay them $1,000 or $500 for the year. But you will have an accountant say, hey, you just pay me $6,000 or $10,000 for the whole year. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Those are the type of clients that, we don't work with, because your accounting is the most important. There's so much that has to be done. I couldn't even explain to you everything that has to be done, because I deal with numbers so often. So when there's problems that arise from your financials not adding up, we got to figure those problems out. We go off of the information that you give us, and then we got to figure out, okay, why this don't make sense? What can you do to save money over here? It's a lot of work that goes in behind the scene into your company being able to operate like it should.
Right, because that money that they pay you, let's say it's $5,000 to $10,000 for the year. For the year, you're gonna show them how to save or make even more money than what they're doing.
Yeah, because you got what is it, a double-edged sword? Because we not only do bookkeeping, we do tax strategies. Not only do we do tax strategies, we do tax preparation. Not only do we do that, once we do that, we're going to tell you how you can create and grow generational wealth for you and your family.
And I know what you're going to get into. And before you get into that, because that is very important, because what you just said is very important, because a lot of people, they're able to make the money, but they don't know how to keep it.
Right.
We see a lot of people, they make money, but they're not able to keep it because of their poverty mindset. So before we get into that, I want to know a little more about real estate. So, real estate, you'll see a lot of like real estate investors. Let's say like fix and flippers, like they wear a lot of hats in their business. So how is it that you can help like real estate investors like fix and flippers or anything like that? Like, how can you help them better streamline their business?
So my job is to come and take the burden off your shoulders. And what's that burden? The burden of you trying to figure out, do you have enough money in the bank account for these properties that you're trying to get going? You may be, you may do fix and flips, and you may be working on 3 or 4 properties at one time. Well, my job is to tell you how we can make that a smoother transition. You may not have enough bank accounts. When you have all these different properties, you may not be structured appropriately.
To cause you to be over leveraged.
Right. So it's a lot of different things that we have to look at, and it's on a case by case. But the main thing that I see the problem with real estate investors is that they are over leveraged. That is the biggest thing. Why? They don't know what their financials are. They're just spending money and don't know how much you made on this particular property. You failed. That's
so you
not cool.
So in any business that you're getting into, you help them give them that vision. Yeah. You want to have that vision. You just don't want to be driving, blindly.
Exactly. You drive blind, you're gonna crash. I hate to say you failed, but I have to say that so that you'll understand how important it is to have bookkeeping, to have that accountant that is looking at your numbers to tell you, hey, you done spent $60,000 to get the home repaired and everything. You purchased it for $30,000. That's $90,000. And then let's say you didn't even know that, but you went and sold the house for $60,000. You done lost $30,000. You negative 30K, and you didn't even know it.
And that's that real estate investor that's just setting himself to eventually fail.
Yeah, it is. It is. You have to know what you're spending. Not, my account, I made $10,000 this month. Okay. Well, how much of that money is coming out of that account? Is it 8,000 or is it 15,000 and you negative 5K? You upside down. It's important. Like, you have to know your numbers. Like, your business, no business can operate without knowing your income and expenses and what you're profiting or what you're losing. I just can't stress it enough.
And what you said was very important. And like you said, you have to have the vision. And then, okay, you have that vision and everything is running smooth. You're making the money. But now we have to learn how to protect our money.
Yeah, we got to learn how to protect it.
How do we protect our money? Because like you caused a lot of ruckus on the internet with 401ks and Roth IRAs. Because we were taught that, hey, it's good to have that traditional 401k.
Right.
It's good to have that Roth IRA. It's good if that's all but if someone has something better,
this is what I will say. Knowledge increases. Don't shut your mind off to learning. When you feel like you have arrived somewhere, like, okay, I'm here now, I know it all, that's when you fail.
Still using the old menus.
The old menu, right. So that's when you fail. So when it comes to 401ks, you learned about a 401k when you started working at that job. That's what they taught you to have. So you have to remember that, like, learning is infinite. Just like we call this infinite banking. Why? Because it doesn't stop.
I want to say this. Even the person that created the 401k plan, he said he regretted that he even made it. He regretted that he even made it.
The IRS used that 401k plan as their way of getting back their money, basically. It's created.
The original plan wasn't even created for employees. Mm-hmm. It was created for people that had, certain amount of income for tax reasons. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Right.
To save on taxes.
Yeah, and now they got it where it's really for them.
It's costing you. That's why that's why it's taking you so long to retire.
Right.
Because you didn't understand how to protect your money. You're putting it in something that's eating your money alive.
Right.
That 401k is being taxed heavily.
Right.
It's being taxed heavily. And not only that, is being put in major risk because you might have $20,000 1 month, then you look 2 months down the line, it's 15 or 20.
Right.
I mean 15 to 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's tied to the stock market.
Right. It's up and down. It's not consistent.
Why would I want to play with my retirement money?
Exactly. That's the money that you're going to be using when it's time for you to sit down.
So we understand traditional 401ks. You spoke on that. It's taxed heavily because when that money accumulates, mm-hmm. and then at the end they're taxing the accumulation of it. Right. And then you have the Roth IRA, it's pre-tax.
Right.
So they tax the seed and not the harvest.
Right.
So the thing is, okay, we said, hey, it's things out there that's better. What is the better?
Infinite banking.
And why is it better?
Infinite banking is better because it has so many different components to it. So, for example, with infinite banking, you're using a dividend-paying whole life insurance policy mm-hmm. to grow and create your wealth. So what you're doing is you're doing what the rich do, right? You're able to practice that. You don't have to be rich to do this. You can now take your money and sit it into this policy where it can now give you living benefits. What are living benefits? That's what you asked, right? Living benefits are things, or I want to say money that you can use now. You don't have to wait till the death of someone to use it, because that's what they teach us. So you don't have to wait until someone is, has passed in order to use it. You can use it now. It gives you living benefits. It gives you a dividend. It gives you a guaranteed cash value. And on top of that, it gives you what we call a death benefit, which is tremendous,
So just like, okay, that sounds better versus a 401k and a Roth IRA, because the way you explained it is liquid. Mm-hmm. A 401k, I seen my mother, she had to pull through hoops to get that thing.
Yeah, and they don't just give it to you.
You just can't get that money. You just can't say, hey, I want my money that I put in, that I work for.
Right.
And then a lot of people, I know I'm about to go off a little bit, but somebody be like, but my employer matches my dollar.
Yeah, well, you work for them.
You worked for that. Because if you stop working for the employee, they're not putting any more money into it.
Right.
So the thing is, like, let's say I'm the boss. You work for me.
Right.
You made me $100, mm-hmm. and I pay you 10. Mm-hmm. I pay you $10. How much do I have? Yeah. I have 90, right? Then I say, hey, I want to be a good boss. I'm gonna take $10 out of this 90 and match it with her 401k.
Right.
How does that benefit me? I get tax savings, right. And then that makes you want to work harder.
Right.
And then the thing is, what else comes with that?
What else? Tell me.
What else comes with that? You thinking that I done did something. You think I done did something, but I really didn't, because you worked for that $100.
Right.
That's the $100 that you made for me.
Right. So it's an illusion.
It's an illusion. Mm-hmm. I really didn't match anything.
Right.
It was your money that I'm just putting up in that 401k that you can't even touch.
That's another part. That's the business owner, because they're the owner of the company. They was able to create that illusion that they're helping you.
And I'm not speaking against a job. It's just that don't think that
401k is the end all be all.
The end all be all.
It's not. It's better out there.
Or the Roth IRA, but the thing is, when it comes to a 401k, it's a lot of limitations to it.
Right.
When it comes to a Roth IRA, you have limitations. There's a cap to it.
Right.
So what? Explain that, like.
So I want to say the cap is what, $6,000 per year, depending on the age. I think it can go up to $7,000 per year. Well, with infinite banking, there is no cap. Like right. Hey, I want to put in $30,000 the first year.
Right.
I want to do it for a number of 7 years. For over the course of 7 years, $30,000 each year. You can do that. Okay, then you're going to have a death benefit. What is it? Millions of dollars.
Which a 401k and a Roth IRA does not have. They don't provide that. So if let's take out the risk of the 401k, let's take out the taxation of the 401k and the Roth IRA. Dollar for dollar is $100,000 in infinite banking, $100,000 in your 401k, right. Your Roth IRA. It still loses because it doesn't have the death benefit. It doesn't have the death benefit. Don't you want to purchase multiple vehicles in one? Why would I put my money? Let's say I made $80,000 and I have it sitting in a savings account at the bank. Well, the bank is only giving me 0.01% interest on my money. Don't I want to sit it in the infinite banking policy where I could potentially earn 5 or more percent? So also, that is like you sitting your money in a bank and they're making money hand over fist. Right. And if you don't understand what banks do, look up the word fractional reserve. Yeah. What is I want to make sure I'm saying the word right. Yeah, you said it right. Fractional reserve. Like look banking. Up that word. They'll take $1 of yours and turn it into 10. Or more. They'll turn it into 10. Right. And that's something you got to understand, and you want to be able to take that same thing and do it for yourself. That's why it's important to become your own banker, because you get that control just like the bankers do. Right. We created a course to show you how you can become the bank. I mean, that course, it takes you through A all the way through Z. We got another portion to the course coming, but the course that we already have, you definitely want to go through that course. I can't stress that enough. The information is out there. Take advantage of it and learn it. It's going to change your life. It's going to change how you think about money. You're going to see things differently. You're going to start seeing a lot of things that you have that are liabilities that you don't need. And then what's different about the course is we not only teach you how to become the banker, we teach you how to use it. Right. How to build generational wealth to pass down to your loved one. That's the importance of it, because you could have the system, but if you don't know how to use it, it slows down a lot. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be the traditional way they say retire at age 65. Yeah. I'm not as healthy as I was at 30. That's ridiculous to me. I don't want to like at 65, that's what they and we go along with it. Right. That's ridiculous. At 65, I've been working since the age of 15 or 16 years old, and I gotta wait 50 years in order for me to retire. Yeah, I didn't get I want to enjoy my days now. Right. No. So what we teach you is how to retire much faster, utilizing infinite banking by becoming your own business owner. And it's not something that's overnight. Right. Because you have to be able to learn how to change your mindset, increase your skill set in the very thing that you're doing. It's a process of time. Right. And you don't have to be a business owner to take advantage of infinite banking. Right. You can be an employee, and infinite banking is that thing that's going to set you apart from the traditional employee, because you're going to still be able to retire much faster. So I just wanted to put that out there. I want to still touch on 401ks. 401ks. Mm-hmm. What another thing, like when it comes to setting infinite banking apart from a Roth IRA and a 401k, is penalties and fees. Yeah, penalties and fees. You talking about for when they want to take the money out? When they want to take the money out. Yeah, expand on that. So when they pull money out of the 401k, so I'm not saying that they're loaning. So when they withdraw money out the 401k and it's not a loan,
then of course they're taxed. They tax you then, hey, how much taxes do you want to hold out? And then you're taxed again if you're less than 59 and a half age, less than age 59 and a half, you're taxed another 10% when you file taxes with the IRS because you pulled the money early. Well, infinite banking, you don't have that stipulation.
Right.
You don't have, oh my goodness, you put in $10,000. Well, guess what? The first year you got access to $8,000. They don't say you can't pull that $8,000, or if you pull it, you got to pay 20% tax. You don't have to worry about that. You can pull the money whenever you want to. And you don't have those penalties and fees that you would with the 401k.
And
or the IRA, because with the IRA, with the Roth IRA, right, you can't pull that money for 5 years, right?
I'm not sure. We could look it up. I don't want to say the wrong thing because people will get in these comments and they will say something crazy. So I don't.
Depending on the age, you have to wait a number of years before you can pull money out of that. So,
but I do know this. When it comes to my infinite banking system, I don't have to wait till I'm 59 and a half.
Right.
I don't have to give them a special reason why I need my money. When it comes to infinite banking, I don't have to pay my money back immediately. I don't have to do all these things, or I done loaned out a portion and I can't get the rest of it out. I don't have to worry about, if the stock market crash, my retirement money is gone.
Right.
I don't have to worry about these things. I don't want to play with my money that, that's supposed to be able to help me in my later years or pass down to the future generation.
Right. You got to make sacrifices, and I'm not saying starve or nothing extreme, but there are certain things that you have to make sacrifices on and change your mindset. Stop being a consumer. Stop wanting to buy the newest Jordan, spending hundreds of dollars on Jordans, making them richer, and you in the same environment, the same mentality. Like you want to try your best to change these things. We want to create a better future.
But if you do it the right way.
Do what the right way?
If you're spending money on Jordans, do it the right way. Don't increase in how you spending on liabilities, but your income is still the same as 10 years ago.
That's what
you want to be able to increase, your finances, like the money that you make. And then, like, if you want to buy some Jordans, go ahead. Because you making more. You ain't making $20,000 and then you got $1,000 pair of shoes or a complete outfit. That doesn't make sense. So that person that's making 6 figures or more, they spend probably $1,000 on an outfit. I wouldn't do it. Hey, that person can afford it.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
What I'm saying is, don't be out here, like I said, being a consumer and you just purchasing and purchasing and purchasing everything that, I want this, I want that. You need to show something. You need to have something to show for.
Because we see
where your assets.
We see it. The thing is, like we seen the craze that went on with truck drivers. A lot of people wanted to become truck drivers. Everybody was rushing to that thing.
Yeah.
And and a lot of people made a lot of money. But the thing is, like, when you seen the back office of it, a lot of them was struggling.
Right.
They were struggling because of, they did not understand finances.
Right.
So the thing is, like, we seen like business owners, like, when it came to like their finances and things of that nature, like, they made a little over $250,000, but they struggling to pay bills because they want to live a lavish lifestyle and take the money and buy up the whole bar.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So I want to end it off with this. What type of jewel or advice would you give someone in a financial situation or want to improve or anything like that?
That want to improve and
like they say, hey, I understand I'm in this situation. I understand what y'all saying, and I want to get I want to do better. What would you suggest that first step be?
The first step is the first step is always changing your mindset, but it sounds like they've already changed their mindset if they say they need to do what it is that we're saying. So I would say the second step would be to reach out.
So okay, that business owner that would like to work with you, how would they reach out to you?
So they can contact us or through our social media pages, which is Everlife Tax Services. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can call us 855-537-5433. You can go to our website, www.everlifetaxservices.com. And we're on Google too. Everywhere, Everlife Tax Services.
Okay.
You can find us.
All right. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in, and let us know what you think. You know, were we too harsh? You know, because the statistics show it. You know, we're failing. You know, we're failing, and it's something that has to be spoken on. If we don't say nothing, nothing's gonna change.
Right.
So let us know what you think, and we appreciate it. Like, comment, and share. And hey, this is Wealth Without the Gamble TV.
Yep. Thank y'all for tuning in.